Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and here's a quick video on slope-intercept form. It's really easy. So remember that for slope-intercept form to work, we have to have two things happen. One, it has to be a linear equation, and two, y must be alone. If it said something like y plus 5, I'm not in slope-intercept form. I'd have to subtract 5 from it. Okay, if it said 2y equals, then y is still not alone. I'd have to divide by 2. Okay, so remember that. It must be a linear equation and y must be alone. And if it is, then the coefficient for x is our slope. Okay, and the number added or subtracted to x from x is our y-intercept, the place where the line will cross the y-axis. Okay, so let's take a look at this one here. We've got y equals 2x minus 4. Well, since it's linear, right, we know how to identify a linear equation, and y is alone, I can say that the slope, m, is 2, or better yet, 2 over 1. I can say the y-intercept is negative 4. So in other words, the line will cross the y-axis where the y value is negative 4. So I start by plotting the y-intercept, so right there. Okay, and then from there I can get more points by rising and running. I'm going to rise up 2 and run 1, and there's a second point. I can get another point. From there I can rise up 2 and run 1. If I wanted to, I could change both signs and rise negative 2 and run negative 1, because that would get me a positive fraction. And as you can see, those 4 points are all on the same line. Although something's looking funky there. Did I make a mistake? Rise 2 to run 1? No, I think that's all good. Okay, I think my eyes are just playing tricks on me. So now I can draw my line. So come down here, and sure enough, my line goes through all the points that I marked. Now, how many points do you have to make? You have to make 2 points to draw the line, but I like to make more than 2 because it helps me draw a better line. And there you go. Okay, let's see here. Tell you what, why don't you try this one on your own? Okay, pause the video. If you're still watching, I'm going to assume that you've tried it on your own. Here comes my solution. If you haven't tried it on your own, pause the video and go ahead and try it. So I'm going to say the slope is negative 2/3. Now you got to be careful there. You don't want to make both the 2 and the 3 negative, because if you make them both negative, the negatives would cancel out. Only one of them can be negative. It doesn't matter which one, though, and I'll prove that to you here in a second. All right, so I'm going to plot my y-intercept of 3 right there. We infinitely clone that point. Okay, and now my rise is negative 2, and my run is 1, 2, 3. There's my second point. And I'll do a rise of negative 2 from that second point and run of positive 3. Okay? Now, remember I said it didn't matter if the numerator or the denominator was negative? So I'm going to make the rise positive, but the run negative. So I'm going to rise 2, and I'm going to run negative 3. And there we go. And look, those 4 points are all on the same line. Okay, so I'll draw my line in. Rise 2, run negative 3. There you go. And of course, you want to always make your line go forever. And notice I don't just stop at the points. I take up a good portion of the graph because my line goes forever. All right, there you go. All right, here's number 3. Why don't you go ahead and try that one on your own? Okay. Here comes my solution. If you haven't tried it, please do. All right, so I do have a linear equation here, but y is not alone. So to get y alone, I'm going to have to divide by 4 here, here, and here. So I didn't know the slope or the y-intercept before I did this. And so now I get y equals x, oops, I made a goof there, it'd be 3/4 x, right? Sorry about that. So it'll be 3/4 minus 5. Okay, so now I know my slope is 3/4. I should write that down. And I know that my y-intercept is -5, right? Okay, so let me put point at -5 on the y-axis, right? Let me infinitely clone it. And my slope is 3/4. So I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3 and run 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3 and run 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I wanted to, I could go for that fourth point. I think I'm going to leave you to do that. I'll start at that fourth point. I'll go down 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where that fourth point would be. And sure enough, my line goes through all the points. Now, remember, there aren't 3 points on this line. There's an infinite number of points. Every point is a solution to the equation. Yeah, the equation has infinite solutions, and they're shown by the line. Okay, that's it for slope-intercept. Kylie had asked me to make a video about that. There it is. Have a good night, everybody.